What does the future hold? A question every single human has asked themselves, their friends, family, and communities. We ask our governments what they plan on doing next to make life better. We ask our businesses what's coming soon that might make things easier. It's such a lasting question because we can never know for sure. But what if I told you that I had the answer? The answer to a question that has persisted for centuries, millennia even. What does the future hold? It's monsters. Good luck. Hello horror heads and welcome back to the Scariest channel on YouTube, Top 5 Scary Videos. I'm your horror host, Keegan Hughes, and today we're going to be taking a look at the top 5 scary monsters from the future. Take notes because this will be imperative for your survival in the coming days. Before we get going, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe for more loquacious linearity. Perfect, let's begin. Coming in at number 5, we've got Killbots. Rule number 1 when trying to avoid monsters: avoid anything that claims to want to help. If something's purpose is along the lines of, we will protect you from the bad guys, it's not a far stretch to say that they've got some bad guy hidden underneath. This is exactly the case when it comes to the futuristic security robots designed to protect the Park Plaza Mall. Anyone who's seen Shopping Mall knows exactly what I'm talking about. The year is 19XX and the hip and cool shopping center is the peak of American living. Nobody could come up with anything better and more rewarding than spending time at a mall, so why not protect it with some future-proof mechanical police? Now you might be saying, Keegan, these monsters are from the future. Shopping malls are a relic of a bygone era, which is in most cases true. However, these killer robots were visions of the future that haven't been fully realized yet, and we may yet see autonomous security like this in the coming days. Just not necessarily at shopping malls. In Shopping Mall, these mechanical madmen are installed at the mall under the title of protectors. They're meant to roam the hallowed halls at night, immobilizing any unauthorized entrance. Lightning strikes though, causing them to malfunction and become deadly. Not long before, these security droids are rampaging in the security office and decapitating clothing store attendants. Who would have thought that the so-called protectors meant to prevent loss of capital would go rogue and kill a bunch of innocents? Sure, a pack of scrappy youths manages to take them out using guerrilla warfare and improvised weapons, but not without heavy losses and a lot of property destruction. I suppose some viewers out there might say the victimized furniture warehouse workers are weakening their message by blowing up an elevator and burning down a paint store, but if anything, this is a manual on how to take out oppressive futuristic security forces. What makes these killer bots so terrifying is that they're probably on someone's wish list for their billion-dollar corporation. Tesla will build them under contract for Amazon, who will then have them patrol warehouses, providing electric shocks to anyone underperforming. The future awaits. Coming in at number 4, we've got Phil. If you haven't seen Kuso already, drop whatever you're doing and go watch it. This movie is 10 types of crazy with plenty of gross and filthy mixed in, and it's got a killer soundtrack. Seriously, go watch it. It features a futuristic LA absolutely devastated by some sort of supernatural earthquake. Following this destructive event, everyone and everything has changed quite a bit. Mutated folks are covered in boils that constantly leak, weird monsters have risen up from the earth just to hang out, and all sorts of subcultures and mini societies have sprouted to revel in bad taste and taboo. Any number of the weird creatures featured in Kuso could make the list, but I'm going to give today's award to Phil. Played by Tim Heidecker, Phil is a toilet traveling rapist. Yep. You heard me. He enters people's homes via filthy post-apocalyptic toilet and does all sorts of awful stuff. Don't ask me how he manages to do this. Apparently the quake has given him powers not unlike those belonging to a certain red-hatted Italian plumber. He also doesn't know when to make an exit. Phil pops up covered in excrement in the rapper named B's apartment, demanding that he be let back into her life. B obviously doesn't want this. Phil also insists that B keep any baby that he may or may not have forced upon her. Come on, Phil, just go away. Eventually, B's interdimensional pals Kazo and Mazu manage to trap Phil inside a futuristic music video, but that doesn't make the prospect of somebody entering your home via filthy toilet any less terrifying. Who knows how many Phil and Phil-adjacent folks are surfing the toilet tubes out there? Coming in at number 3, we've got Big Daddies. I'll preface this entry with an admission. Yes, I do know that BioShock technically takes place in 1960, but it's an alternative futuristic timeline, and it only gets more complicated with each additional entry. So we'll say that, yes, Big Daddies are from an alternate future and leave it at that. I want to talk about these paternal antique diving suit gorilla things, okay? A Big Daddy is a genetically enhanced human with its skin grafted to a gigantic old school diving suit. They were originally created to do maintenance work in the underwater city of Rapture, mostly menial tasks like riveting and drilling. Their gigantic, powerful bodies made stuff like that really easy, but soon the good folks in the science department found a new task for them. Definitely needing some more of the addictive gene-modifying chemical known as Adam to advance their strange dystopian society, Yi Suchong, a scientist, cooked up some corpse recycling children known as Little Sisters. These tiny people would skip around, discovering dead bodies with residual Adam and siphon it out of the people to be used again. Doing so made them targets for splicers, or dangerous Adam addicts. To protect the Little Sisters, the gargantuan divers were reassigned to bodyguard duty. Modifying a person to become a Big Daddy was not a reversible process, so there were initial worries that people wouldn't sign up to do it. However, this ended up being a non-issue, as plenty of exiled criminals and political dissidents did the trick. This meant that the base humans that comprised Big Daddies were often less than stable. Add in a chemically induced fierce parental protective instinct and you've got a horrifying beast ready to kill at the drop of a hat. Some have giant drills attached to their hands, others have rivet guns and proximity mines. No matter what though, just be careful around the little ones. You do not want to off Big Daddy. Coming in at number 2, we've got headcrabs. Parasites are a deep-seated fear for humans. For whatever reason, we have a major issue with creatures getting a free ride and using our resources. There are so many creepy classic creatures that employ parasitic strategies across the horror canon. So of course these tiny four-legged dome grabbers are considered to be among the scariest of futuristic monsters. They love to leap at their victims from afar, latching onto their heads and using a hidden beak to crack into their skulls. At this point, they take over the victim's motor functions and render them zombified. Once this zombification is complete, they often cause horrible physical changes like the deterioration of flesh and the exposure of internal organs. You don't often want your inside organs heading outside. If you've got a crowbar and a protective orange suit, you might have a fighting chance against these things. Otherwise, unprepared people are at a serious disadvantage. They're quick, they're gross looking, and they want your brains. That isn't to say they can't be domesticated though. Through a process where their beak is removed, one can render a head crab largely harmless, although it's hard to say why anyone would want a 10-pound flesh blob as a pet. I guess there's a market for hairless cats and chihuahuas though. And finally at number 1, we've got Terminators, the gold standard for monsters from the future, shape-shifting, near indestructible humanoid warriors hell-bent on destroying the last bastion of humanity. There are plenty of different models these raucous robots can take, but all of them seem to have the same purpose: eliminate life. Sure, Arnie pops in as a nice one every once in a while, but that's more of an exception to the rule than anything else. These badass bots are controlled by the artificial intelligence network known as Skynet, which seems to have the primary objective of wiping out all remains of humanity following Judgment Day. The worst part about it? Humans created the defense system that was granted self-awareness and became Skynet. We're always at war with ourselves, aren't we? The main reason we're aware of Terminators at all is because a T-800 hunter-killer was sent back in time to take out the mother of a resistance leader named John Connor. When this assassination attempt failed, they only came back stronger and more resourceful. Terminators are just about impossible to kill and don't feel any pain. Sure, they can register damage, but it's not the same thing. They have superhuman physical abilities and, depending on the model, can take the form of all sorts of people. Add in assorted weaponry ranging from crazy guns to shape-shifting limbs, and you've got a deadly, terrifying, emotionless monster. Again, the good Terminators are the exceptions to the emotionless rule. I'm sure you're all picturing the humanoid hunter-killers too, but there is a wide variety of less human, more horrifying machines ready to kill every last organism. Skynet, you're one sick son of a bitch. Are you looking forward to when these monsters actually manifest? Which one can you see yourself fighting amidst a barren wasteland? What's your favorite monster from the future? Make sure you let me know down in the comments. Speaking of comments, let's take a look at some of your more caustic ones from the top 5 scary cartoons kids shouldn't watch. Our Paranormal World says the horror imagery is nowhere near as damaging to kids as Flapjack being lured away to Epstein Island. Oops, I mean Candy Island. Careful now, you don't want to get disappeared, do ya? Mimi Katzen says, "Hey Arnold was my favorite show as a preteen." What did it for you? The odd-shaped domes? The crazy haircuts? Arnold's grandpa? Steven Mercado says, "You should watch Goosebumps." Man, Goosebumps messed me up as a kid. I distinctly remember watching the Haunted Mask episode at a sleepover and getting zero sleep. Jack Post says, "OMG Being Ian, a Canadian classic. His brothers were always hilarious and terrible too." Ah, Kyle and Corey. A couple of classic kids, eh? Glad to see I'm not the only one with memories of this Connect cartoon. And the Mystery File says, "Who has a half-naked George picture framed on their wall?" I used to. but all good things must come to an end. And that's all the time we have for today. Before I play baseball with a bunch of violent criminals, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe for more horrendous predictions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.